This WeatherScope is sponsored by Walgreens, the Pharmacy America trusts.
It's the busiest travel day of the year. What do the roads look like? How about the airports? Stay tuned. We'll let you know on a special holiday travel-wise. That's coming up right after WeatherScope, so stay tuned.
This is WeatherScope.
Well, it is time to put a wrap on the Thanksgiving holiday weekend, but many people will have to keep track of possible weather problems. We know a lot of you are traveling today. Good morning. Welcome to WeatherScope. I'm Rick Griffin.
And I'm Bruce Edwards. Now, there are indeed pockets of fog across the country to watch out for this morning. Those should burn off, of course, during the course of time, but rain will remain a wide area problem across the eastern United States. Now, Atlanta, Georgia has finally been able to say goodbye to the rain in the pre-dawn hours this morning. It's been a soggy 24 hours across much of Georgia. Now, while there could still be a brief shower today, the system that covered the southeast has been moving off towards the north and moving out of the picture. But we'll still see some showers because, you know, the upper level low is still back here. It's swirling about. Matter of fact, in Carroll County, Tennessee, severe thunderstorm warning in effect around the core of that low pressure. You can see the moisture flowing here, and we're getting some showers on the backside, Kansas and Missouri. But the biggest batch of moisture, the heavy soaking rains, are now moving through Florida, East Georgia, and on into the Carolinas. There is the low on the surface, the warm front. It's in this warm sector of air we may see some severe weather here, plus the energy rotating around the low, triggering some storms around Nashville, Tennessee, but mainly a rain event through the Carolinas this morning. Now, as you go on the backside of where that low pressure system is, you can see the showers still persisting. It's been an awful soggy turkey weekend around Topeka and Kansas City and Olathe, Kansas, and Overland Park and Sedalia to Columbia and Jefferson City. You see Joplin catching a few showers, Coffeyville, Kansas, catching a couple of showers there. It's all relatively light. But boy, oh boy, it's been persistent, hasn't it, all weekend long, driving on through. Now, the center of the low is right on through here. Again, Carroll County, severe thunderstorm warning. As you can see, these storms rotating around the low, and it's slowly drifting to the east. Now, just ahead of it, we see a pretty good little cluster of storms from near Chattanooga, right up I-24, heading towards Nashville and up towards Bowling Green, and Paducah's catching some showers here. We're seeing things easing up a bit around Knoxville as far as the rain lifting onto the north, but you see scattered showers, and what you don't see here is light rain and drizzle. Fozzle, I call it, because it's fog and drizzle from Atlanta north along I-75 to Chattanooga, and then you can see the rain showers moving through. Now to the eastern Carolinas, particularly North Carolina, that's where the heaviest weather is now, around Elizabeth City and New Bern, over to Kinston, some pretty good downpours with lighter rain scattered back through Charlotte and Asheville. And then ahead of the system in Florida, there's your line of storms now marching from Tampa through Lakeland, working up towards Daytona Beach. Another heavy storms around Fort Myers and Port Charlotte. The numbers in the south range from 43 in Oklahoma City to 74 in Miami, while it's 34 in Boston, 24 in Albany, which is significant because we're seeing some overrunning moisture, and there's a little bit of rain falling into the pockets of cold air trapped in some of the valleys. We're seeing a little freezing rain and drizzle, but Syracuse to Rochester, plain old rain showers. But watch out around Albany here, and then towards the Catskills and up into the lower Adirondacks and Mohawk Valley. That's where you can see some ice, but then it should change over to plain old rain, and that's what we're seeing here. Notice along the thruway and over to near Albany, but watch out again, some of those protected valleys. I-70 from Columbus and Zanesville extending on through Indianapolis towards St. Louis, nothing but wet. Rick?
Well, Bruce, Los Angeles will be back under rainy weather today as a new storm system makes its way down the west coast. The rainy weather that's been hitting San Francisco overnight is beginning to let up, but parts of the San Francisco metro area received over 1 inch of rain during the nighttime hours. How about Seattle? Well, those of you in the Pacific Northwest, in Seattle specifically, will be putting up with scattered showers through tonight. Then comes the good news. As high pressure builds in, the showers will come to an end, and expect some more stable, drier weather the next several days. By the way, with the showers today, it's only going to be in the 40s. Kind of cool for Seattle, even in late November. Fog will add to the travel headaches today. Well, Minneapolis is one of the many areas that has been socked in this morning. As you head out, remember to stick to those low beams, because the high beams make it even more difficult to see through the thick fog. By the way, the fog is lifting a bit in Minneapolis as the winds pick up a little bit this morning, but other cities like Lansing, Michigan will have to wait a lot longer for the fog to burn off. In Lansing, visibility's just a couple of 100 feet right now in the thick late fall fog bank, which not only includes Lansing, but covers just about all of southern lower Michigan, northern Indiana, and northwest Ohio with a thick blanket of fog. There are definitely some travel headaches here. There are patches of fog along I-80 in Illinois and Iowa, and still a few fog banks over Minnesota. However, things are not as bad at the moment as they were yesterday around the Twin Cities when the fog was persistent all day long and there were many travel delays, flight delays, and cancellations, that sort of thing, because of the very poor visibility. The rain's well to your south, which the rain continues over Missouri, parts of Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, while the light rain is moving out of Detroit, Michigan, but leaving behind a moist atmosphere. And again, that thick, extensive fog bank over the southern part of the state. 41 in Grand Rapids. It's foggy. 44 in Chicago, 25 in Minneapolis. As we head south, right around freezing, exactly at freezing in Des Moines, but in the 40s in Kansas City, 50s this morning, St. Louis, Indianapolis, and Lexington, Kentucky, where it continues to rain from time to time.